Hey, welcome back to my channel, Indie Author Jill. Um, Today we're doing the monthly wrap up. So in July, as I said in other videos, I did start a new job and it's taken a lot out of me. So I actually only got 5 books read this month. Depressing, I know. But the first one I read was Dead by Dusk by E.C. Hill. This one was one of the. It's been a while since I gotten a thriller in the group. But this one, these 6 strangers wake up in this house, and they have to try and figure out how to escape. And then when they finally figure out how to escape, they get into these like wooded areas, and they realize as their memories start coming back, they realize they're not actually strangers. And I love this 6 assuming strangers, 5 have no memories, 4 become hunted, 3 were friends, 2 are lovers, and 1 is lying. And it kind of goes through all of these, um, and they start off. 5 of them start off having no memories. The others, there is one who has his memories, but um, the others, they're running around and trying to figure out how they got where they are, why they're where they are, and their memories are like slowly coming back to them, um, to a point where they're like, okay, they're starting to understand where they came from, how they know each other, and how everything fits together. Um, but uh, it's one of those things you can't really put a whole. I can't really say a whole lot. But like I said in the video that I did for this, I love the artwork where you've got Celine's face here, and then you got Ronan's face in the axe here, um, who become like the 2 main characters. Um, this one, like, there's a couple of times where I was like, okay, I think this is what's going on, and then as it's um coming through, like the fact that it goes back and forth between Ronan and Celine's POV, kind of is the dead giveaway that they're the lovers, and they both almost immediately um recognize each other and remember each other, and like even if they don't really remember each other, but they remember that whoever this person is, this is someone that I care about greatly. um so that kind of hints that they're the lovers, but as it keeps going and it keeps kind of untying the background, it's I better keep that up for a minute. um it the story unfolds very nicely, and I enjoyed that one. The Loving Whiskey. Whiskey owns a bar, and she has an issue with. This is by Gracie Cooper. She has an issue with one of her waitresses, and like the only reason she hasn't fired her yet is because like honestly they need the help. But the waitress goes a little bit too far, and she's like, listen, either you give me a raise or I'm walking. And she's like, all right, see ya. And she's like, okay, fine. And she takes her boyfriend with her, and her boyfriend um happens to be the lead guitar player. And she's like, you're taking our guitarist? And she's like, where I go he goes, so if you don't want me, you don't get him. And she's like, dude, you're really gonna do this? And he's like, yeah, I get to play with my girl. And so he goes off with her to a rival um bar, and one of the band guys, he's like, hey, I actually know another guitarist that would totally step in. And so he calls him and says, hey, we've got an opening, we need someone, get over here. And so Colton comes in, and uh there's like an immediate attraction because it's a romance. Of course there's an immediate reaction. This, by the way, I used as my bard for the choose your party. I think the Dead by Dusk I used her as a ranger or a fighter. I'm not sure which. I did use her as a party member. These both went into choose your party for the Her Kid 3.0. But Colton is not just your standard hot guy. He's got a 4-year-old niece that he's taking care of after his um, uh, sister died, and he's also trying to take care of his uh, geriatric grandmother, who is not a great influence on his niece, but also not a terrible influence either. He's like, I'm selling you to the highest bidder, and she's like, you wouldn't dare. And he's like, try me. And then she like throws a cookie at him. Um, and there's just a lovely family dynamic between the two, Colton and his grandmother. The next one was Black and Blue Widow, Rhiannon Rollness. I did not expect to like this as much as I did. Um, Luella was such a fun character. Hey, chill. Was such a fun character to follow, and you go back and forth between Luella's storyline and Daisy's storyline, and Rose's storyline. Daisy is Rose's sister. Um and um as you're going through the different storylines, eventually you do realize that um there is a connection between the two of them. Um and I was How do I put this without spoiling anything? I I got to a point where I realized I was like, oh, there's a connection between the two of these two women, and I was like, I understand what this connection is. I did not. Uh, and there was a bit of an irritation of I didn't realize. It's like, oh, that wasn't the connection that I thought it was, but then at the same time, it's like it didn't feel like cheating. It was like, no, that was a good connection. Like, I liked how that unfolded. I liked how the twist and um the plot twist and the everything got unraveled, and it came apart like it got unraveled in a very nice and organic way that you're like you're satisfied with. It's like, wow, that was, yeah, I love that. Yeah, I like the way that that one ended. Secrets and Stardust. Um, it leaves off on a bit of a cliffhanger. It is a part of a series. So it does lead you into, it does make you want to read the next book. But the cliffhanger isn't such that you're screaming at the book and wanting to throw it across the room type thing. Like, where, like, you can't just leave it there. It's not a severe cliffhanger. It's okay, this is the end of this part of the story. The next one, like, it is a satisfying cliffhanger, you know, of like, yes, this part of the adventure is done. Now we have a new adventure, because what happens is um the Iana lives in a world where um magic exists, right? And she's ah, stop. I think I'm remembering this. Wait a minute. I think I might be remembering a different book. I'm working my way. I'm almost done with Destiny Rotten Row. I think I'm getting that too confused. Okay. Yes, the both of them end in a satisfying cliffhanger. Uh, but Um, so the secrets in Stardust, Iana is, um, she is an Altair, I believe is what they call it. Um, and so she is a once in a generation birth type thing. Uh, but the family didn't tell her that, like, she knows that she's from a magical family. Her grandmother is a healer and she wants to be a healer just like her grandmother. And she and her grandmother have this really great relationship where her grandmother is teaching her, and she has like a bit of a strictness to her, but also an understanding. Like, she doesn't uh, hold a lot of the mistakes against Iana if they're um, understandable mistakes and they're not hurting anyone. So, for instance, uh, Iana drops a bottle and it's a glass bottle and it shatters, and her grandmother tells her, um, uh, has heard it, and she says, "What did you drop? It sounded like glass." And she's like, "Yeah, it was my last glass bottle." And she's like, "I suppose you'll be needing one of mine." And she's like, "Yes." And she says, "If you don't mind." And she's like, "Yeah." She says, "But we don't have a and she's like, "Yeah, that's fine. Just be careful." And that's the end of the lecture. Whereas Iana was kind of expecting a whole merchant hasn't been through here in a while. We don't know when the next one's coming. We don't know when we're gonna get glass bottles again, type situation. But her grandmother doesn't lecture her. Because she's like, I could sit here and tell you that, but you already know that. Um, and besides that, we have a baby to deliver, so this is not the time for a lecture. And um but yeah, like I said, they have a really cool, you get to see this like start of a relationship, and then you have Zane, the emperor's son, leading an army, and they're camped out just beyond the ridge of the village, and they come in, and um Emmerich, am I remembering his name right? Yeah, Emmerich is part of this battle, and they charge into the village to take out the village and claim it for the emperor, because it's apparently a strategic um, spot for taking over the kingdom or whatever. Except they weren't counting on Iana, who calls on the stars to help, and the stars, Altair, um, she's an Altair. What is his name? No, she sent Altair. Altair is the star, and she is an Azita. I know it started with an A. Okay, so yeah, she's an Azita, which is a once in a generation birth, and it um she has incredible powers, but they keep it a secret from her. Um, and for the most part, it was oh, we were trying to protect you, and but she's like, I don't think that protection was the only situation here. Like, I feel like at some point that was information that should have been given, you know. Um but yeah, she sent Altair, and then there's this like love triangle between Emmerich and Altair and Iana, as they decide to go on a quest to I need those. Why did I put them up? I'll pull them back down, I promise. Um, but they are on a quest to go and get rid of the emperor. And Zane, the emperor's son, claims that he wants to join the quest so that he can overtake his tyrannical father. And there is a betrayal there. And like I said, when this group like I said in the video, when the group forms together, they have such a good chemistry, even though there's a lot of distrust and whatnot. There's chemistry between them that you're like, I don't want anybody in this group to betray each other. I want them to be the found family that I'm coming to love. And even Talon joins them, which is Emmerich's bestie, and adoptive brother. So, I'm not gonna spoil any more of it, but like that was also a really fun adventure to be on. And then Spies in Their Spare Time by Neil P. Randle. Did I say who I Jeannin Counts is who did Secrets in Stardust. I'm just gonna pull this one down because I already know. Um, Spies in Their Spare Time. This was also a fun one. MI6 is struggling with some double agents, and they're like, okay, we've had 4 double agents, and they don't realize that a 5th one is imminent. But their question is, okay, how do you make sure that your agents don't turn into double agents? And the answer is, an agent can't become a double agent if they don't know that they're an agent in the first place. And so they start a program called the Nest, where they are pulling recruits. They team up with like Fletcher and Reed, which is a grocer manufacturing company, and they hire bright young minds like Chris Scott and Stephanie. I think her name is Collins. Um, Chris is in research and development. Uh, Steph is in microbiology, and they basically groom these two to be secret agents and the whole time they have no idea that that's what they're turning into. And this takes place around the fall of the Berlin Wall. That was a really cool uh, storyline that I enjoyed. I would say, honestly, my favorite book of the group of the 5 had to be Black and Blue Widow. So that's my July pick. Uh, and that one can go all the way up here. You're gonna have to make some room, Hector. Hector, move. Hector, by the way, is my uh, posable dummy. But he likes to take up some room on my shelves, and he's not very good at holding books up. He's just not. Like I said, right now I'm working my way through Destiny Rot and Woe myself, and then I will be going on to the um, stack that I in a previous video you saw the TBR pool. So those will be next from the previous TBR game. Originally, I pulled those because I thought we were going to be doing some more traveling, but my current job didn't allow for it. So I originally pulled those thinking that we were going to be traveling some more and I was going to have plenty of time to read, and then I ended up accepting this job, and I still thought that, I would be able to get quite a bit of reading done because it seemed like it was a pretty easy job, just making biscuits. You go in the morning, you make some biscuits for 8.5 hours, you come home, and it is exhausting. Um, but you gotta feed the community. The people need their biscuits, so um, I enjoy the biscuit making. I don't enjoy the exhaustion. But we're getting there. We're getting through the books slower than I was, but we're getting there. Um, So, I'm almost, like I said, I'm almost finished with the Destiny of Rotten Woe. Um, the Spies in Our Spare Time was a book that my husband and I both read together. The next book that we're reading together isn't actually part of the TBR, and it is The Moon the Sun Forgot, um, which is a title my niece, if you've seen her on the channel, has had issues with. But that's her problem, not mine. And certainly not yours. Um, so him and I will be reading The Moon the Sun Forgot. Hopefully I can get that done by the end of this month. And then uh, I'm working on the Destiny of Rotten Woe, and I think Passing Through Christmas is next. Yeah. But you won't see the video on that because it's a Christmas book, and that's going on December's list. But there's 4 other books on that one, so um, we'll get through it. And then once we get through that, then I'll do another TBR game where we'll pull some more books. All right. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you don't know what to comment, let's do a spider for Black and Blue Widow. Um, but otherwise, of the 5 books that I read, which ones are you most interested in reading? I guess. Like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And then also, if you're looking for any books that I've written, I will post maybe 1 or 2 of them in the description down below. Bye.